Hello to everybody on Team Legacy. This is SEVC Greg Kapp, and I'm going to talk about how this powerful system of ours has made me a deca millionaire. Can you imagine that? A postal worker who was shy, had a low identity, was able to raise his identity, but it's only when I learned to master this system. Now, what is the system? The system says that if you run it properly, you'll always be in a hot market the rest of your career. And I was in a hot market for most of my career once I learned what I'm going to teach you today. Now, there's always three people, right? You are the credibility, right? You're the associate in WFG. You're the credibility. And then you bring on a new associate and we'll call that person A. And then you're asking A, who's your best friend in the world? And they tell you. And then you get on a three-way call where he calls and all he says is, hey, Bill, how are you? You got to talk to my new mentor, Greg. And then I come in and interject. And the whole point of the system is this miracle called the triangle. The triangle is made up of three people. Who are those people? One, the person in business, the credibility. Two, the one that's got the trust, that's your new associate. And three is the prospect. And you see, when you have great trust, in other words, if the new prospect really trusts A, I can move real quickly. Decisions will be made pretty quickly because WFG actually just makes a lot of sense if you're talking to someone that has trust. And so I can literally get that person moving much quicker if they have trust. That's why I only like hiring people that are trustworthy. Does that make sense to you? Because if someone comes on board with me and they have no trust in their market because they've been borrowing money from people, taking, things from people and not giving things back to them, they're not going to help me in a business because then I got to be both the trust and credibility. And so remember, the powerful part about our system is to always be in a hot market. That's the top five. The top five is the hot market. That's the best friend, the mother, the favorite uncle, whoever those five are, because there's so much trust there. See, WFG sells itself, but what's lacking in most people's businesses is the word trust. And so there's credibility, trust, and the new prospect. So now when A introduces me to their best friend, and I say, you could really help out your friend by being a spare time referral partner from home, then they're going to say, well, what do you do? Well, I'm going to do that for my next appointment, and I'm going to show him what our products are like. And then when he gets excited, I'm going to say, you know what? I don't know if you can follow the system, but A is following it perfectly. Then B is going to say, well, what is it? I said, I asked him who his best friend is. Who is your best friend? So if I can now get B on the phone with C, and C has known B for 20 years, I can borrow 20 years of trust in just 5 minutes. And so do you see that when someone has trust with somebody, as long as you control point of contact, that's the missing ingredient, controlling point of contact, the business is so simple. I got to the point where it was so simple. I went from best friend to best friend, the best friend, the best friend, got treated like a king. Our products made sense. Our business opportunity made sense. But when I started getting into an area where there's a lack of trust, then I didn't have speed anymore. What did I have? I had procrastination. See, if you don't really trust somebody, you're going to have to investigate. You're going to have to think it over. And procrastination is the next step to saying no. So I hope you keep your system running simple. This is how I drove a leg 4 deep in one night, just dropping by people in the old day when we didn't have Zoom. But someone on my team drove a leg over 10 deep in just one day. This is a whole new era. We are kicking off the golden era of our company. Why? Because we have now orchestrated a way for every one of you to do this revolution in distribution of financial services. I'll end with this line. Every 100 years or so, a brand new idea comes into an old industry and revolutionizes it. And that's what we're doing. We are soon to become the fastest growing, largest internet financial service company on the planet.